wasn't until I started getting older that it started to affect the way I was living my life. It affected my relationships, it affected work, it was affecting everything I did, absolutely everything.
She wouldn't sleep in her own room, she was silent. Her knickers up to like 4 times a day. She wouldn't let anybody near her, she was constantly crying.
No way you can basically state how you would feel when you get told something like that, and it was devastating. It was probably the worst thing. I'd rather have had my own heart ripped out than be told that this had happened to my child.
My daughter had told me that she was being abused by my neighbour, but I had noticed, changes in her before she actually told me, but I couldn't exactly accuse anyone. When my daughter told me, straight away I reported it to the police. Within 24 hours, we was took to the police station. They wanted to do a video interview of my daughter. She just totally clammed up, would not do it at all.
I didn't want to do my interview there because I didn't like it because it was dead old, and my brother didn't want to do it there too. And then when I went in the room, I just said no because I didn't want to because I was dead scared.
Bear in mind, it wasn't a very good experience for her, and plus it was still fresh as well. She'd only just told me as well what was going on. And that's when the police referred us to St Mary's. It was good for my daughter and good for me because at first I blamed myself for what had happened to my little girl, and they reassured me it wasn't my fault and that it does happen all the time. The difference was with the police station in St Mary's, she didn't get to meet the police officer that was actually doing the video interview. So she was putting her in a room basically with a stranger, where at St Mary's, I think it was a couple of days before, we got to do a play session with the police officer. So my little girl got to know her.
First time we got there, she had a colouring book and some pens, and then we went and looked in the room. It's both of them, and then in a couple of days, when we had to go back for the interview, she bought some pillows. She was this police lady where she listens to what I was saying, and we had cameras in the room so she could see me and so she could hear what I'm saying.
And the best thing about it was when she went to the police station, she was walking into an interview room with a complete stranger, where here at St Mary's she got to have a play session, so she got to know the police woman who was doing it, didn't you? So that was a lot better, wasn't it?
I felt happy and friendly because I got to meet everybody, and then I got to go in the playroom.
It was more like a friend rather than a counsellor. And I knew that I could, at any time if I needed to talk, that I could.
From the age of 6, my dad started to sexually assault me, and it went on for a number of years until I was 11, and then it became serious assaults. I managed to keep it closed for such a long time, and things would move on in life and things would trigger it, and you know, I was no longer to keep it all contained. The very first time I walked in, I got greeted by a young girl. I don't know who she was, I wish I did, because she was so nice, you know, and she made me feel calm as soon as I walked through the door. I was incredibly nervous when I came through the door. I was shaking from head to foot, and not just in myself, visibly shaking. I didn't know what to expect. I got offered a brew, and like, you know, it was lovely. Really, really nice experience. Scary, daunting, all those things because of the nature of why I was there, but not scary or daunting once I got in that place. Had one session of counselling, and then first day of court when I went in, I was never left on my own. It was lovely. It was, you know, I really, really felt the benefit of that. The experience that I had was right for me. It was fantastic. It really helped me out. Helped me in such a way that I was being prepared for court, because obviously by then it was actually going ahead. My dad was eventually charged. But what I can say about St Mary's is that without this place, I don't think I'd be where I am today. It's been such a fantastic experience for me. And yeah, it's hard work. It's emotionally hard for me. But I know it's benefiting me, because when I go away, I've got things that I can work on, and I feel a lot better about myself. And I'm now beginning to sort of find who I am. If somebody asked me, what kind of service do you think, you know, would they offer? Straight away, I'd say, listen, I've got the number. There you go. And I would signpost them here myself. Even myself, I'd do that, because I know it's a fantastic place.
Basically it started when my son was taken from my garden. Basically we didn't know where he was. We all went looking for him. It was only like 5 minutes he'd been in the garden with his friend. His friend had turned his back and he'd vanished basically. We then found out that a lad had come to our garden and asked him to help look for a ball. We got in a panic and went to look for him, and couldn't find him anywhere. We ran around the estate, I got in the car and drove everywhere. Unfortunately, it turned out that he came back maybe about an hour later, and we noticed a boy at the top of the road when he'd brought my son back. He never told us anything at the start. It was only a few hours after when we got comfy in the house and he got talking to my wife, and basically he told my wife that this lad had touched him. We then decided, after having a bit of a discussion, that we should get in touch with the police straight away and let them know what's gone on. And they was there in a shop. We was asked to go at the night time to the police station and go and have Sam interviewed in some way to try and establish what had happened, but we decided to leave it till the day after. I don't really know why, to be honest. I think we was just really upset and hurt by it all and really didn't know how to react, because we didn't have any guidance initially at all. Anyway, we went to the police station the day after and Samuel was interviewed, and it was then that we found out that he had been raped. After the discussions with the police, they asked us to get in touch with the Sexual Referral Centre, and we was a bit nervous at first, because obviously when your child's been touched or physically abused, you don't really want to have anybody else looking at him and asking him to take his clothes off and things like that. So the initial thoughts going through our head was, we don't want this to happen. We got a call off the St Mary's Centre saying that they felt that it was a real big concern that this lad could have potentially have any sexually transmitted diseases, and obviously our child could have been affected by these. So it was then that this instantly the decision was made that there's no way that we could afford to let him continue possibly having some kind of disease that we didn't, or we wouldn't be able to recognise. When we came down here and he realised how relaxing it was, with all the women around him supporting him, he kind of, he got used to it, I think. It was for the best. I know it was for the best. I can safely say when he's older that we did everything we possibly could to make sure that he was healthy, and, you know, in unfortunate circumstances there weren't a lot we could have done about it, but we had to make sure that for the future he was going to be okay. You feel, it's hard to describe, but you feel like you're going to be judged in a place like this, just because it is, you know, the words a sexual referral centre, sexual assault referral centre, makes you think straight away, oh my God, it's, you know, there's a certain expectancy put in your head. But when you get to meet all the staff and, you know, and they make you drinks and they comfort you and they have little chats with you as well as the children, it's not just that, you know, they take the children to one side and then they just discuss with you what's going to happen. So you're constantly kept in the light as to what's, you know, what's going to happen to your child. For a couple of weeks after, we was in constant contact, really. I think along with the St Mary's Centre, I think the police were great as well, because the police, they was also ringing me up often, asking if there was any problems, if there's anything I needed to speak about. So as far as them two agencies are concerned, I think they was really good. There was a few other agencies that I feel did let us down. The contact between all the agencies wasn't as I feel it should be. For me, I believe it helped not only rehabilitate Samuel, it also helped rehabilitate us as a family. We could quite easily have been broken by this, because at the time, me and the wife was blaming ourselves and also blaming each other.
I feel like I can be myself when I'm here. It's not clinical, it's not, you know, I don't feel like I'm going seeing a doctor. I feel like I'm going, I know why I'm going and I know it's very professional, but it's very, very relaxing, which is exactly what I needed, exactly what I want.
With my little girl, she had like quite a lot of one-on-one counselling sessions, because it affected her a lot. Since she's been coming to St Mary's, she is completely different. It's like I've got my little girl back.